can right here. That was a big win for us, against Memphis, and then another big win on the road against a great Portland team right there. I feel like we can keep this momentum going, into All-Star break, and the winning AD gets back eventually.
We appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Great interview right there. And we've talked at length a number of times over these past 20-something games without AD, just how Thomas Bryant has come into his own. It's great to see him healthy and thriving, and how he's making himself some money down the road and where he belongs on this team and his role. He's won games for the Lakers. Tonight he was fantastic, guys. He tied his career high of 31 points. He was 12 of 15 from the field. He had 4 threes. He was also 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Check out the rebounds too, D-Fish. 14 rebounds, 5 of those offensive with those 2 putback hammers that you will see in the highlights.
The Lakers are lucky to have this man. They stole him from the Wizards, boy.
Wendy was getting a lot of those minutes defensively down the stretch, but it was Thomas Bryant tonight that they relied on.
And I cannot remember one time, maybe the coaches and players can tell us differently, I don't remember one play being designed specifically for Thomas Bryant to score. Right? And he still had 31 and 14 with 4 made threes. 5 offensive rebounds, playing hard, playing with heart and passion. Those are the requirements for being successful at the pro level. Nobody needs to draw up plays for you. You don't have to be a feature guy. You don't have to start. You don't have to play a certain amount of minutes. You just have to have positive impact on the game. That's what Thomas Bryant does almost every time he steps on the floor.
It just goes to show you that how much is left after LeBron gets his, after, potentially AD, after the big boys get all their shots and calls. Look how much is left for other players to get. And Thomas Bryant is aware of that. He's aware where he's supposed to be when Westbrook has the ball, LeBron. He puts himself in situations for offensive rebounds, and he just plays with effort and plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. He, like Fish said, no plays called. He did try to draw Nurkic out early. We know he hit a couple threes early. That worked well for him. But other than that, just effort and, like a scavenger in the fish tank. He just gets everything on the wall, gets everything that's left, and he's full. You know what I mean?
I loved at halftime was after their worst second quarter, literally in the history of the franchise. And we've seen a lot of crazy things over the years of basketball. Sometimes I give you guys stats that blow you away. Big game, you were kind of speechless. And the word that Billy Mack used was disastrous. And you're like, I just can't really explain what we just saw. Well, here it is in front of you, Big Game James. 13 points in the second quarter. They scored 40 in the third. 29%, 62 in the third. They had 3 assists compared to 7. And Big Game James, this is a big one. 7 turnovers, 0 in the third, 0 in the second half. They were minus 27 in threes in the second quarter alone. They were over 7. Portland hit 9. It's just one of those things that happens. But for you to be able to let it go and turn around and give that in the third quarter says a lot about this team.
Well, the issue is to know what Darnell, said to him at halftime, because it definitely pulled them together. They have players, too, who did not want to continue to play the way they were playing, turn the ball over. They knew they could play better. So it was just a matter of, not trying to get it all back at once. Did a good job, chipped away. The defense picked up in the third, and they did what they're supposed to do. It was effort. Bryant, offensive rebounds. The defense, we talked about how they put Damian and the other players in defensive positions where they had to play some defense, took away from their offensive, pressure, and they just did a great job in the third, turn it up.
Yeah, and I think, the way the game is played now, this is so symbolic of the amount of threes that teams take, the pace that these teams play at. 71-46 at the half. You just don't even know if there are enough possessions in the third and fourth quarter to make up that type of deficit. But because of the amount of threes, the long rebounds, the ability for a team like the Lakers, if you're not turning the basketball over, you're dominating the paint, and you're forcing the other team to miss, you're going to get back in the game. And what to me was so wonderful about this stretch without Anthony Davis is they've experienced a lot. They played in close games, overtime games, come up on the short end, being able to break through and win some games, come back from down 25. They got a lot of things in the toolbox that when they see it later in the season, they'll be able to point to some of these games and say, you know what, we did it then.
Yeah.
We did it then. We've been in this position before, and those are things that they can hopefully hang their hat on as they get to February, March, and April.
I'd be remiss if I didn't add this because I don't think I said it in the open. The Lakers were up by 14 early on in that game. So that turnaround was crazy in that first half. So even more credit to the Lakers. And you mentioned the rebounding, 13 rebounds. They out-rebounded Portland by 10 offensive. So some great stats right there. And just kept getting after it. Like you said, they completely flipped it, 75-41 in the second half. Let's get you to the highlights. Lakers taking on the Portland Trailblazers in a Western Conference showdown. AD, got some good news on him. First quarter, Dennis, shoot off the pick and roll, gets to LeBron, he slams it down. Great start for the Lakers. Moments later, it's LeBron.